Hey, what's up, guys? This is Team Hard Life Captain Alberto Zertuche, and yes, sir, the fishing continues. We are at Causeway Pier, and yes, that is Shark Vato. He is the one who wraps our Team Hard Life rods here and does a lot of the bigger, heavier rods. We also have GVC Custom Rods, who also gives us a hand here building rods and getting other work done and so forth. But yes, the weather has been wreaking havoc on the Team Hard Life rod schedule. However, we have been catching some windows where he's been wrapping a lot of rods and getting them out. So as soon as we can get them to the shop, and yeah, hopefully before this next front, really takes a toll on it, because when temperatures drop like that, it really does wreak havoc on the epoxy's ability to actually set and allow them to be fished. So that's what it is on that. Now we are at Causeway Pier, and this is still part of the Teach a Man to Fish series, and also too the first tournament of 2022 for the month long of Causeway Pier. And we are out here again putting baits in the water, and this is the day before front actually hits. We are looking to see what's going on. We actually have wind today as compared to the other few trips that we come out here where there was very little to no wind while we were out here. So I feel very confident that we are going to be putting some big fish on the pier, and it's a good thing too, because like I said, with our testing and if our gear, we're always in tune with what's going on, and or when we hit a speed bump or find out something isn't working the way it's supposed to be working. So for me, I have seen where the Jack Crevalle leaders, it looks like we've hit a bad batch in the monofilament sleeves crimping. It all came together as one bad area, so we actually had to go back through, pull a ton of leaders off the shelf, as y'all saw. And that's the one thing about us, guys, is we like for y'all to know what's going on with us, because if something happens to a leader and you don't see any improvement on it, then you're not doing what needs to be done to ensure that your gear is on top of the line. And for us, when we find these, we want to share it with everybody, because we want to know that we are aware of the problem and that y'all know we are aware. That way you don't sit there and assume that nothing's being done. We would rather let y'all know that we are on the verge of getting it done and so forth, and we're going to keep it rolling. So I'm out here, I've got the leader on, I've just pulled in another leader with it, and yes, gonna keep rocking and rolling. Oh yeah, it's a Friday, and I'm excited because like I said, this week's been long and crazy, and we've been out here fishing as many days as we can. The tournament is 15 days in and will end at the end of the month at midnight. So as soon as that happens, whoever has the biggest drum at that time will win. And they got a first place and a second place. Some of our teammates have been switching back and forth between position 1 and position 2. However, it goes to the end of the month, so it only takes a couple of big fish to be caught at the right time to push everybody off the board. So even though you're up there, you got to keep fishing it, guys. You can't just automatically assume that you got the biggest fish and it's going to stay, especially on a tournament like this. It's not over. It's not over to the last minute. But I'm out here using our updated 3-way Jack Crevalle leaders, and you can see that blue line right there. And also too, I'm using fresh sea lice that we have gotten, and I'll be putting those out for bait. And you see me hanging my bait for my weight, and that's so that way as I go to cast, I got one bait or one weight pulling my line out and everything, and then this will allow me to ensure that I get a good cast and into the wind. As you can tell, I'm going straight into the wind, and we're gonna get it rocking and rolling.
Gotta bite. I think I got a lot of stress on my mind. It's a nice day to go. Yeah, I gotta line. I'ma call up the whole team.
What's the biggest you've ever caught for fish? 47 3/4. I caught that one last March.
wasn't in a tournament. About this time, it was daylight still. It was heavy. Yeah, it was pretty heavy. I just built the rod and I brought out here just to try it. It was actually the 8-foot antenna rod I had. Rattlesnakes on it. And I broke it out. Sold that ex-raptor. Now I'm bad. So I had to take that rod off. Put a 50 on it. Put that rust.
Santos got him. See, I knew you were slacking, bro. Hey, slots? Shoot.
Woke up.
That was an awesome picture with you in the sunset and the rod boat over. Yeah, slot. Yeah. Is it a red? No, it's black drum. Here with me? Alright. You want me to move mine out of the way real quick? Got it? Ooh, that's a healthy keeper right there, bro. I got one. I was like, I got one.
Yes, bro.
Well, this is good. I had just gotten there, and I've only been there about 20 minutes. My first rod took off, landed my first fish using the upgraded system for the Jack Crevalle. And yeah, I definitely wanted to put it to the test. So you saw we just grabbed the leader and lifted up that black drum, which was an oversized. It was about 33 to 34 inches. And yeah, the leader held up perfectly fine. I set the hook real hard. That was a few of the issues that we had. It was when we would backlash, the leader would separate, or when they were setting the hook, the leader would separate, and it was at different sections. It was never like at the hook or just at the swivel. It was just something different was happening, and we definitely had to come up with a solution, and fast, because with the tournament heating up the way it is, I used the gear that y'all use. So I definitely didn't want to have a leader out there that was not at the top of its game. So for me, again, getting out here, putting it to the test, and just being overly abusive is the only way I can ensure that the leader is going to be built for the big battles that can get y'all on the board or get you your personal best, and be completely confident with our tackle that it is not going to be the leader that fails you. Now again, guys, we want to encourage you to understand what we're also teaching through our channel, and everything that you do from your reel to your line and your tackle all plays a part. Now again too, when you do come in or call in for the fishing tackle, we are going to ask you a bunch of questions as to how you fish, what type of fishing you do, and all stuff like that, because we have to know what style of fishing you're into, what you're planning to do, and how you plan to fish it. Because if we don't have those questions answered, we cannot recommend gear to you and feel confident that that's exactly what you want. Because at the end of the day, for us, it's putting you on the gear that is going to be your combo that you're going to have for pretty much forever. That's the way we look at it. We want you to, when you make a purchase, know that it's exactly what you need, exactly what you want, and where you're going with it, and it is pretty awesome. So for me, the gentleman saw that I landed that one there, and his leader had messed up or fallen apart, and he was like, "Hey," he's like, "would you mind selling a leader?" I was like, "Sure, why not?" So I hooked him up there on the pier, and that is something that we develop our gears to turn around and sell it and stuff. So having somebody see it and immediately acknowledge that our gear is up there and get on it is pretty awesome. So for us, this is what we do, guys. And if you're new to the channel, we highly recommend you subscribe and hit that like button, so that way we can keep growing. If you have any positive reinforcement or suggestions for our channel, we highly recommend you comment and or ask your questions, guys. You just never realize how your comment can influence and or share knowledge. Even if you're not at the crazy top game that you want to be or you see us at, we are always learning something, and we are always willing to learn something as well. And sharing the knowledge that we learn from all levels of fishing is the best way for us to ensure that we are at the top of our game, and we want to share that with y'all. So as you can tell, I am also fast forwarding a bit between the time periods of us catching, so that way you can see what kind of time we have invested.
Yeah, that's crazy. $2,500. I was back at fucking 98. Tiger, but he's coming in. gonna have to measure them. So,
You know what? I have to measure my truck. You got your board or you got your board?
no, I didn't bring my board.
I got. It's what are you gonna? You don't measure for keepers. Look at my board.
Later will hold.
So let's do this real quick. I got that. Put it on the floor. Go off the nail.
Give me my knife right now.
We go 40.
But you already have 40 right there.
Yeah,
I'll
go
say
for the
30.
keeper.
Yeah, 30.
So I get some there.